All right. So, going to be doing some Patreon requests today, starting off with Cyborg 19.99, who asked me to do a Patreon request of what would they think between uh, X-23, Laura Kinney, and Rose Wilson, aka Ravager. But as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the second tier. That'll allow you access to do so. But as always, let's get started with the video. So Rose and Laura, the daughters of Deathstroke and Wolverine. It's kind of funny because we did kind of have a comic similar to this in a backup story with Tom Taylor doing X-23 and Nightwing, talking about how they try to live up to their legacies of being the children of Wolverine and Batman. And I feel like that would be kind of a bit of an opposite here because Rose doesn't has a lot of love loss with her dad. Like that's kind of the thing, right? Like her and her and Slade don't exactly have a lot of love loss between the two. So it's a little difficult to say that the two like genuinely like each other in any way, shape, or form. And I mean by Rose and Slade, to be honest. That's kind of the thing. Now, um, there wouldn't be like a thing where it's like with Dick, who was like, hey, we try to live up to being, the sons of Bruce Wayne, the children of Bruce and Logan. Here, I think Rose would be a little envious of Laura that, she was trained as a weapon, much like her, but her father actually accepted her as opposed to she had to garner, Slade Wilson's love through training and assassination and things like that. So there would be that, and I think I think Laura would also be like at the same time. I think Laura would have this thing where it's like, just because my dad didn't try to kill me doesn't mean I tried to kill him. And also, if you think you got problems, have you seen my mother? I think that would be I think that would be the kind of the connective tissue between the two, where because remember, Logan, Laura may be a clone of Logan, but her birth mother Kimura is a real piece of work. So she's like, there would be the common ground where she's like, where Rose would be like, your dad's pretty awesome. I wish my dad was like that. And she's like, yeah, you have not met my mom. So you got that. There's also, I think I think it would be kind of fun to see the two spar, because I feel like Rose and Laura would be like, Rose would literally say, you don't have to hold back with me. You don't have to, pretend that this, I'm fine with getting cut. And Laura would be like, I'm not really worried about cutting you as opposed to eviscerating you. And Rose would be like, oh, so are you just gonna like chicken shit your way out of this or what? And that's when Rose would be like, all right, my contemplation on this is done, and just pop her claws. I would also love to see like them also like regarding more, because I feel like they would really kind of find common ground on family, because like Rose would talk about her brother Grant as well as Jericho, and Rose would talk about Gabby as well as her brother Dokken, um, and how much it took so long to bond with them. So there would be another thing where they talk about they would pretty much talk about like how like bonding with one another. And I think that it would be a I think it would be kind of a fat it would just be kind of a cool like talking about like how there's kind of like a lot of similarities between their families. I also think the other thing is that Rose would really be sympathetic of Laura's training, and likewise, Laura would be very sympathetic of Rose's upbringing and training through the League of Assassins, and also hers with Weapon X. There would be a lot of back and forth, and I feel like there would be a lot of common ground between the two. But here's the thing: I know I've talked a lot about, I've talked so much about like them talking. The thing is, Laura and Rose aren't really talkers. That's kind of a drawback, is that they aren't. they aren't like the biggest talkers. Like they aren't really a, how do I put this? They're more actions speak louder than words. So I imagine they would probably let their fists do the talking, and then they'd sit down and be like, "Oh, so your dad is Deathstroke, my dad's Wolverine." You know, I think they fought once, or at least met when the Titans and X-Men did a thing. Cool, and that would be kind of it. But I think like a little more talking, because Rose is more. It took a while for Rose and Laura to really like connect with real family members. So I think they would also connect over, them being taken in by the Titans and the X-Men. There'd be a lot. There's a lot of common ground here. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think what would X-23 think of Rose Wilson? Do you think they would be actually friends or not? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'd like to thank Cyborg 19.99 for this Patreon request, as well as continued patronage. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.